The buddy, my wife moved out 2 months ago into a condo she bought. Small inheritance. Her mom died 3 years ago. She said she needed space and wasn't sure why she needed it. She just wanted to be alone. We have a child together and he likes having 2 places to stay, but it is tough on him. We don't fight and talk daily. After reading all the things not to do after one's spouse leaves, I have given her the space she wanted. Although I sent her the odd email or text about what she means to me, she said there isn't anyone else and that she just needed to get away from everything and felt overwhelmed. I have asked her to see a marriage counselor, but she hates talking to people about her problems and has refused. I just started reading about the 180 and find it hard to do because I see her almost daily and talk to her every day as our child needs someone around before and after school. We have no set schedule as our jobs don't allow it, so my son stays here some days and at my wife's other days. She doesn't ever really invite me over to her place. She says it's because she knows it upsets me, which I suppose it does because she went from an inflatable mattress on the floor to having it semi-furnished in those 2 months. Bedroom set for her and my son, couch. I invite her over for dinner whenever it works out, so she eats at the house a few nights a week. We spent Christmas together and I showered her with presents, but nothing romantic or very expensive, just small stuff I knew she wanted. So, back to the 180. How do I not come off looking cold or disinterested when I see her all the time? She knows I am lonely without her, as I have told her as much a few times while feeling really down, which she tells me cause she doesn't mean to hurt me. We have always been each other's best friend and have never really been overly social outside of our relationship. We have had our ups and downs in our relationship, but I never saw this coming. A month before she left, we were looking for a bigger house to buy. I miss her terribly and have been very understanding and patient through this process. Told her I loved her and I would be here whenever she needed me, and have been when she becomes down or whatever. Some days I get the vibe she misses me and other days she is very cold. She has dealt with depression throughout her life, so I am just still trying to help. Not sure if there was a question in there, but just was wondering if anyone else had some advice for me. I have tried to get myself right and improve while she has been away. Joined a gym, stopped drinking, never an issue, working on quit smoking. I have kept our house spotless as it keeps me busy, and I know she likes a clean house. But the emptiness I feel is sometimes overwhelming. I figured she is having a midlife crisis, early 40s, but I just don't know where to begin with this. She has not moved much out of the house, just what she needs, half her clothes, toiletries, jewelry, etc. We really can't afford 2 places but are getting by. We still have a joint account which our paychecks go into and still use each other's work benefits. Anyone has any experiences like this and could give me some advice, it would really help. It feels like a very slow breakup, but the second I stop being nice I know that it will give her solace in what she is doing. I love her so much, I would have her back when she is ready. I understand there may be another man, but she swears there isn't, and that she is so screwed up in the head at the moment that that is the last thing she would need in her life. When she left, she told me to have faith and that she just needed some time. She said, and I quote, "I need to leave the marriage to save the marriage." I totally thought there was another man, but the only reason I stopped, or sometimes stop, thinking that is she put the place she bought in both our names. Anyone that is leaving her marriage for another man wouldn't sign a mortgage with the husband she was planning to leave for someone else. Everyone told her to just use her name, but she insisted that we buy it together, and if later on down the road we got back together, we would use it as an investment property. If she chooses to go off and be with someone else and is happy, then, although hurt, I will want that. I have always wanted her to be happy, and if that is the way it goes, so be it. I wouldn't take her to the cleaners with a nasty lawyer, although I could go for custody as she left the marital home. But what example would that set for my son as the type of man to be? We have grown apart a bit over the years, and instead of making each other first, we let our child become first in our lives. She said just before leaving that she can't see herself growing old with anyone else, and that she just needs some space and doesn't know why she is doing this. It has only been 2 months, and if I push it and keep at her, it will only drive her further into whatever depression she is going through, and I would lose her, which obviously I don't want. She is being very selfish, but at the same time, with her leaving, I have had a chance to step back and realize we have a few things that need to change, and we need to make each other our first priority again, and that will take time. Perhaps starting again like dating to try and rekindle the love we had before we had our son. I speak to her every day and see her every day. I don't know what she does while at work, but she usually tells me her plans after work, and they do seem to check out, as I am curious sometimes and keep a tab on bank accounts and such. And yes, I have concerns about her seeing someone else, but at the same time she seems so mentally fragile at the moment I can't talk to her about things as she starts crying and says she can't handle this at the moment and is overwhelmed, and sends her back into her little bubble where no one can get to her, no one to talk to about her. No one that would tell me anything anyways. Seeing me doesn't bring her to tears. We still sit and talk and laugh, but any kind of serious relationship talk just sends her back into her hole, and she just can't seem to talk about it. Just too much for her to process, it seems like. She almost turns into a small child with any heavy conversation. The phone thing, well, she just got a new work phone. An upgrade, so I don't even know about grabbing that to have a look, but that wouldn't help me any if she caught me looking through her texts or emails. We had discussed buying a rental property a few times, and even looked at a few. I try not to talk about our relationship anymore as it does seem to overwhelm her. I send the odd text or email letting her know what she means to me, but not face to face. Where is this going conversation as she shuts down and I feel drives her further away from me as if I'm nagging her. So I stopped. I would rather just have normal conversations while eating dinner, which we do sometimes, family dinners, not just us, and over a cup of coffee we can just have a laugh, and that is all I feel she can handle at the moment, so I leave it at that and she goes home happy instead of upsetting. I think that is better for me in the long run, as she said she wants space, so nagging her when she says she can't handle heavy conversations won't be in my best interest. When she drops off our son, I ask her if she wants to stay for dinner. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. If she comes to collect him for school or drop him off after school on the days I can't, I offer her a coffee or tea and we catch up. Damn, I really don't know what to do. Obviously, the people here are telling me things I already know, but if there is even a slim chance of reconciliation with her, I'd rather do anything to have that. I will keep trying for a while longer, although a few comments got me thinking about packing it in, but really after 15 years I just want my love back and work things out and have us really try it a second chance. There is no fighting, we are all right financially. Our favorite part of our day was getting our son settled and hanging out together. Suddenly it all went to crap. At the same time she was telling me she thinks she is having a midlife crisis and was thinking of going on stress leave at work. I brushed it off as a bad few days, and then all her life's problems suddenly were caused by me and she needed space to figure stuff out. I'm totally lost. And yes, I've gone to talk to someone and they pretty much said if she asked for space, give it to her. If she wants to slowly move back towards the relationship, it will be on her terms and not yours. If she doesn't, well, then you can't do anything about it. Be kind to her, let her know you're there for her, and at least once a week at the most tell her you love her, but don't expect it in return for the time being. If she knows I am there for her, love her, and am giving her the space she wants, then that is all I can do. Hiring divorce attorneys, dumping the 70% of stuff she left here on her doorstep, going through her condo or phone to find out if she is up to no good, or constantly try and talk about what is going to happen with us when she doesn't know will only drive her away. So here I sit, trying to suck it up for my son's sake and give her what she wants and be supportive and hope she realizes that she wants to come back and spend the rest of her life with me and start working on us as a couple instead of us as individuals. I try so hard with the no contact rule, besides about our son, but fall short often. The needy and clingy was done after the first week or so after I read exactly what you said. It makes me look weak. But it is hard when I see her so much, every day if only for a moment. Sometimes longer. I feel it will come off as cold. I know she is being that way and very selfish, but I don't want her to think, well, crap, I don't want to be around someone who is short with me and won't give me the time of day. I know what she is doing is 10 times worse, but here is hoping she sees the error in her ways. Well, it has been almost a week that I have cut off contact with my wife unless it has to do with our son, and then only through text. I'm not trying the 180, I have just had it trying so hard to get her to talk at all about our relationship or even where her mindset is. I have literally given up, and now I have turned all the energy I put into trying to get through to her and directed at having as much fun as possible with my son when he is with me, which is 4 days a week. It feels good not to be in that lost mindset that I never thought I would get out of. I didn't get out of it on purpose, it just happened one day as I got fed up with trying so hard with nothing in return but being yelled at or just made to feel like crap. I have accepted I have tried everything possible to save our marriage, and it is up to her now. If she wants it, she will have to now work as hard as I did to bring me back into the fold. I don't deserve to be treated like that, and I will continue my life and make the best of it and leave her alone to deal with whatever issues that she needed space for in the first place. I will have lonely nights, but I'm a good guy, and if she doesn't want a good, kind, loyal, understanding man to be with, then there will be others out there somewhere that will. I'm done waiting and done trying. I realized I can live without her and be happy, and am doing so moving forward. I still love her, but at the same time I don't deserve to be treated like this when I have done nothing but be a good man and husband to her. I'm excited about where my new future will take me. If at some point she wants to work on things, then I will decide then what to do. I am going forward as if we are done and she is not coming back. It has been a tough 2 months, but it finally dawned on me that I have done nothing wrong and I have been the only one trying to fix our relationship, marriage, family that she broke by leaving. So, what's the point? I can't help someone when they don't want it. She wants some space, well, she can have all the space she wants while I move on with my life. All I wanted was to open a dialogue. Haven't tried to talk about us in a month since the same thing happened, about where she thinks this is going. Not so much harsh words, but definitely loud and emotional that she can't handle talking about it because she has no idea what she is going to do, when she will be back, or if she will ever be back. Her words, it was like she imploded inside when I asked her how things were going and what is she thinking about us. I haven't contacted her since, besides to do with our son, and I am done trying and going to move on with my life. After 16 years, the least I deserve is an adult conversation about where we stand, not crying and telling me she can't handle talking about it. 2 days later, she greets me at the door when I picked my son up with a big smile and happily asking about how my day went. I noticed a book I wanted on the steps and she said, "Oops, I bought you a book." I asked if it was meant for my birthday and she said yes. I said thank you, but please don't buy me anything else for my birthday. Smile turned to frown. Got a text 10 minutes after I left apologizing for losing it 2 days before and another saying that she should be apologizing in person as well. I can't keep up. One day I think it is obviously over and the next she is buying me a birthday present. This isn't normal behavior. I really wish she would go and see someone, but she has refused. Said she just needs to be alone and have space to figure it out. 2 months in and still nothing figured out except she enjoys shopping while furnishing her new place. I called it retail therapy to her and she said I know I have to stop shopping. And it isn't helping anyways. When I say my name is on the mortgage, I mean we both own the place together. So, to speak, and yes, it is in both our names on the title. She didn't need me or my money to get approved for the mortgage and she used the small inheritance as a down payment. Even without the money, she would have been approved just on what she makes. The down payment just meant she didn't have to pay a certain buyer's fee on the purchase, some law in Canada. So, she spent 80% of her inheritance to save a bit of money on the purchase and to keep the monthly mortgage payments low. Everyone told her to just buy it on her own, but she said she wanted my name on it. We still run everything out of our joint account and the place I'm living has higher monthly payments. Did I mention the closing date was a month and a half away and we decided to work on things? It went well. I thought we were all good. We even had a renter move in the first week we got it. Then the check bounced and he went missing. 3 weeks later she decided to move in out of the blue. We both have good jobs and she makes more than me. But even so, I was banking on having someone rent the place and not carry 2 mortgages. Money is tight, but it all comes out of our account which we both get paid into. Bills, both mortgage payments, groceries. The money she used to furnish the place was the other 20% of the money she inherited. And a little from our account for stuff for our son. I want to let her know I want her stuff out of the house and moved into her new place. But I'm scared, I suppose. I really think it is a depression, midlife crisis issue and not someone else in the picture. More than anything I would like to try and sort things out, but was a totally one-sided effort. She can be stubborn and I have a feeling that if she has any doubts about what she has done and any thoughts about perhaps trying again, that me asking her to move her stuff out will push her into defense mode and push her even further away than she already is. I don't mind waiting if she at least communicated with me about our relationship. Or lack thereof. I'm on the fence. I may give it some more time and keep it just about our son and hope she has a moment of clarity and wants to work on things. I may not. This sucks. I am in limbo and yes, I do have hope. I hope she figures out that life without our family together is no way to live. It has been 2 months, but during that time I haven't really given her the space she needed. I would text her and email her about what she means to me. I have only shut down contact, unless to do with our son, for a week and a half and think I should continue a bit longer. I have never been told I love you, but I'm not in love with you. I have been told I love you and miss you, but I just need some space to be alone. She is in hiding from anything to do with reality and comes across as very depressed. Just because she moved out doesn't mean it is over. It just means she is confused, as she stated, and doesn't know what she wants. I figure several months of pain would, if it works out, be worth it to spend the rest of my life with the women I love. Pushing her to make a decision now might spell my doom, as she has told me she can't handle anything at the moment. A week later, came to a head last Saturday with her telling me she doesn't think she will be back. She said she is going through a crisis and can't deal with anything. Has cut her one friend off as she can't deal with her life problems as well. I said, you have just locked yourself in this condo and the only person you let in your bubble is our son. She said she knows but is all right with that. I said, you keep telling me I don't think, I don't know, I'm not sure, and said I have been living in limbo for over 2 months and you haven't told me anything. I asked again if she has been seeing anyone or in any kind of relationship, and again the answer was no. I pushed a bit more and she said, I don't want you to live in limbo. I asked, does that mean it is over, and she said yes. I got up and said, great, thanks for telling me, and walked out as she called my name out. Next day she dropped my son off and I told her we need to get a lawyer to figure our finances out, and she already knew of a place that did separation arbitration in town. I said I will pack her stuff up in boxes and she can pick it up. She called my bluff and asked if she could take a few things now. I said no, not now. I went right back into denial. Texted her on the Monday and just said hi. We texted a bit and she finally said, I don't really know what to say to you. I love you and like talking to you, but that is all I can seem to handle at the moment. That was her smiley face, not mine. Since then, no mention of what went on over the weekend. Crushed all of Sunday, happy as can be Monday when she told me she loved me, which I knew but was nice to hear. I understand what it seems like looking in from the outside, but she is going through a very emotional crisis of some sort and she is the mother of my child. I will wait and do what it takes to try and make it work. I love her, and if I thought there was someone else, I would see a lawyer, but you don't know her and don't see what I do. She is too messed up at the moment to get involved with someone else. That being said, we will see where the next few weeks go and see if she brings up getting her stuff again. Everything she has done since she first started showing signs of midlife crisis, depression, she has not been at all the same person. She is in an emotional hibernation, never has been manipulative. I think she wants me to be done. I think she hopes I just end it. She could care less about anything at the moment except hiding away from the world. Ending it would not only destroy me but destroy us both financially. I am just sitting back and giving her space. Like I said, we will see what happens. I know it doesn't look at all good, but I won't be able to live with the thought I didn't try and be an anchor for her, my family, and our future. If it does end, which for sure looks that way every other day, then I know I did everything I could to save our life together. She won't get help. I don't think she is mental. I think she is depressed, confused, and having a midlife crisis. She is a very loving mother and my son would never be in danger. If there was someone else, she would have ended by now. Completely. I am not a plan B. She is just really going through something that she doesn't even understand. I do think she feels guilt about the hurt she has caused me and my son. I do know her, and you don't. It is not an act, and you looking from the outside have no idea what you are talking about. I'm done getting involved in her affairs. So, to speak, not my problem. I am polite and friendly, but I am done asking questions, done telling her what she means to me, done trying to get her back. I am just taking care of me and my son. After that, not much. We will see what the future holds, together as a family or apart. I want the former, but at this point it isn't up to me. If by chance I meet someone along the way, so be it. Everything happens for a reason. I don't see myself growing old with anyone else, but we will see. I'm in a holding pattern, I suppose, a self-imposed holding pattern. I could go get all the lawyers I want, break things off and get on with things, but I'm not close to that at the moment, and I am fine with that. Got my son, my dog, my house, and a good job. There is only one part missing, and that will resolve itself one way or another. She is a good person and has been for 16 years. This is odd behavior for her. She might be waiting for me to put my foot down. Showing up at her place isn't something I would do. If there is another person, which I'm sure there isn't, then so be it. That is something she has to live with doing. I know it is easy to judge, but she is not all there right now. We will see what happens. I have already contacted a child psychologist and will be setting up an appointment soon. Other than that, he is fine at the moment, and we both talked to him about what is going on and how he is feeling. He is in the loop and knows everything. As far as the example goes, that is my problem and not yours, and I will deal with that when the time comes. Stop trying to make me feel bad for trying to get my family back together. It is important to me to try and get us back to a place that we can all heal together. If it doesn't work, I will be able to sleep knowing I did everything in my power to try and save my family. I am dedicated to them, even after she checked out. I don't chuck someone away I have been with for 16 years because she is having some sort of crisis, depression, etc. She may, but that isn't me. She needs help, and I will stand by her and be the anchor for my family till she has either gotten help, met someone else, or served me with papers of some sort. Until then I am good at the moment and play it day by day. She doesn't think there is anything wrong with her. She won't get help. She hates talking to people about herself and has told me no to AMC because of that as well. In the next breath she is telling me that everything overwhelms her and she can't handle anything at the moment. She is in hiding till it goes away. It is like she went from a 40-something to acting like a child, crossing her arms and holding her breath. Her mood depends on which way the wind is blowing that day. I am just sitting back at this point and enjoying the ride, until we run out of track. I do send her a small text once in a while, but just to say hi, and sometimes that is all I say, or about our son. Other than that, I am just putting all the effort I used to put towards trying to get her back and shifted it all to my son. We have tried new things together and have a great time every weekend. I was actually shocked that I do pretty much all of them. It is hard, but that is when I call a friend instead of her. She has left me and we split our son between the two places. I don't discount everyone's opinion, but some would cause more harm than good at this point. I don't doubt I am in denial of some sort, but it is a roller coaster ride at the moment, and I will try and deal with the ride as long as I can to try and show her that I'm not giving up on her. So, what happens when she texts me next? I did a few weeks of no contact and nothing really happened. Then we seemed to get right back into texting again. My last text, she thanked me for being there for her, and I basically said I will always be there for you and she could lean on me while going through difficult times in life. I know it makes no sense as I hold her hand while she is leaving me, and I know I can't nice her back. But how do I just go back to no contact after saying that to her? Silly question, I know. If she asks what's going on, or if everything is okay, what do I say? Nothing. Or do I just say I'm done being there for you while you are leaving me? Do I say I've given up hope on you coming back and have no more faith and am ready to move on? Or do I say I'm done and want to proceed with your plan on seeking a separation agreement? I'm confused. My birthday is next week and I already told her not to buy me anything, which she already did. I saw it while picking my son up and I took it home with me. I said thank you, but please don't buy me anything else. Texts are one thing, what about phone calls? She may be calling about our son. Voicemail, I suppose. I'm trying to wrap my head around everything and I'm trying to come to terms of it ending but find it hard not to care. Or to give up hope. If it goes ahead, it will ruin us financially, which she doesn't seem to understand. I may have to sell the house as I can't afford it on my own. 3 months later. Long story short, my wife left me and moved out for space and to be alone after 16 years together, and no problem that I was aware of other than her going through depression, midlife crisis. Whether there was someone else or not, I don't know, and at this point it doesn't matter because we are on the final stages of divorce, through mediation. Only another week or so and we should both be signing the end of our marriage. 16 years together and in under 6 months of her leaving we will be divorced. Anyways, I have cleared the house of everything that reminds me of her, boxed it all up and got her to pick it up. Anything family related I offered to my son for his room. Just a few family pictures. I have absolutely no closure whatsoever. I have no idea why she left, why she didn't tell me she was not happy, why she just decided life would be better without our family together. The night before she moved out, we were planning Christmas and a family vacation for the summer. Next day I come home and she is crying, telling me she needs to leave for a while and have some space for herself, but to have faith, and she doesn't see herself growing old with anyone else but me. Like I said, perhaps there was someone else. I'm really not sure and at this point could care less. It truly shows her character, and my son knows I tried everything I could to try and keep our family together. We don't talk anymore except to talk about our son, and that is usually done through text or email. Not sure if I have a question or not. Just getting it out of my system, I suppose. I am left with an empty house, but I get to keep the house, and with her waiving her rights to any money from the house. Kind of. I get child support and 50-50 access to our son. I somehow even got her to split the dog's food and upkeep as well. So, compared to some stories out there, I have it pretty good. I just don't know what to do now. I'm too busy to join any groups. I have literally one good friend in this city as we moved here to be close to her family. She lives a 1-minute drive down the street, which doesn't help as I pass her place anytime I go out. What now? Empty house, except for the dog and my son 50 over 50. I have changed the house around a bit, but we made this house into a home together. Everything reminds me of her. I can't sell as there is something in the agreement that states if I move in the next 3 years she is then entitled to some money from the house. So, I am not moving. I just don't know what to do now. I always thought we would grow old together, but she decided to do a runner without even an ounce of effort to try and work on things. I still love her, and at the same time have a hate on for her. I am in therapy and so is our son. The one person that needs therapy is her, and she says there is nothing wrong with her. I know one day she will regret her decision, but that doesn't make me feel any better at this point. I am getting on with things and even had a date the other night. I guess I just feel empty, lost, and lonely. I know it will pass with time and I'm still young, early 40s, so I have time. I just can't picture being with anyone else. For all her issues, I still want to be with her. We weren't very social and spent most of our time together. I lost my wife, best friend, lover and soulmate all at once. The only major problems we had in our marriage was from her getting caught up in an emotional affair 3 years earlier after her mom's sudden death. This is where I believe the depression started, which we had marriage counseling for and she had IC as well and got to the root of some childhood issues she had. I was reading a Valentine card and birthday card from Feb. In the Valentine Day card she went on about what a good husband and father I was and how lucky she was to be with someone like me. In the birthday card she reiterated the point on what a good husband and father I was, and she was looking forward to spending the rest of her life with me and was looking forward to our future together. Moved out in Nov 2018. Like I said, the day before she left, we were discussing Christmas plans with her father that was over for dinner, and that night we were discussing our summer family vacation, having a laugh and watching a show together. There were severe depression issues over the last few months, sleeping all the time and stuff like that, before this, and she had mentioned she thought she was going through a midlife crisis and wasn't happy at work. It was like all of a sudden everything was my fault. I was the cause of all of it, but even when she was walking out the door, she told me she doesn't understand what she is doing, that she just needed space and needed to just be alone as everything overwhelmed her. A few months later and she said she is happy now and doesn't think she will be back. I tried to tell her that of course she is happy as she has no responsibilities anymore. At this point she had our son 3 days a week, never needed to walk the dog, have dinner on the table. The only thing she had to do was what pleased her the most, and that was shopping to fill up her new place. She wouldn't take anything from our place. I had an extra TV, no thanks. Next day she buys a new table, no thanks, I bought one. Mind-blowing really, but like someone else said, one person can't work on a marriage, and I was the only one trying, and all she was concerned about was herself. Half a year later, divorce is done, financials sorted, child custody sorted. But I have had absolutely no closure whatsoever. The wife being in the fog, or whatever you want to call it, has totally rewritten the last 7 years of our 17-year marriage. She sent me an email a while back responding to something I'd said to her, just crushing me, saying things that were just outrageous. I have done all the research and so on and understand that this is what they do to stem the guilt and rationalize and justify what they have done, but I was the one trying to nice her back from the get-go. I know, silly me. Then my dignity and pride took over when I found out for sure there was someone else, and I have basically gone to NC unless it had to do with divorce or our son. So, I have never really stuck up for myself. I let her think whatever her mind had made up and just ignored the craziness. But after that last email she sent just lambasting me as a husband and a father, I feel the need to respond to her. It's already written BTW, and explain the best I can in the nicest way. Again, I'm seeing someone about this, how it all truly went down. I look at it more of a closure letter, whether she reads it, deletes it or whatever. I think it will feel good to get it out there. And not trying to change her mind, she is way too far gone. I don't expect a response, but the fact I send it will make me feel better somehow, I feel. Writing it out and burning it wouldn't feel the same. Writing and deleting it wouldn't feel the same. A more for the record, closure, letting go kind of thing. Oh, dear God, please take it easy on me. And on reflecting what I did. I should have cut all ties immediately, wouldn't answer the texts that seemed so friendly, the phone calls, happy, depressed, or crying, or the emails. If asked why, I would tell her straight up that we are done. I wouldn't have cried in front of her. I was deep in denial. The whole let's agree not to see others was a good one by her. I asked my wife on dozens of occasions if there was someone else, and she looked me in the eyes each time with love and spoon-fed me bull crap, and I lapped it up for 6 months because I didn't want to believe someone I loved so much could be so cruel. I felt everyone here was jaded and angry and scooped the advice of whomever wasn't saying she was having an affair. Until 6 months later when I found her cooking dinner for a co-worker. He's just a friend. He was just a work friend she saw every day and did everything with. He was a work friend even up to a year until she finally told our son that they like each other. She has her soulmate now and I'm left picking up the pieces. My comment, OP realized too late. I think it is one of those cases where people believe their partner is special and they are not like the rest of the people out there. How would you convince people to be leaving their cheating partner? Comment down and Happy New Year.